Hello, hello. I'm Eepsa. We've been interacting quite frequently. Okay, we are doing some chemistry, chapter carbon compounds. A lot of books call it carbon compounds. And from that, a small topic called esters. You may be it may be written as esterification, or it may be written as reaction of acid and base. There are various names which are given to this thing: esterification, reaction of acid and alcohol, and various others. Okay, so like everything, first we see how to identify if something is written, how to identify whether that substance is an ester. Ester is just like any other compound. You know, alkanes, C2H6, C5H12, you know that they are alkanes. How do you know? By just looking at them and some small calculations, right? Similarly, ester is a type of compound, like alkanes is a compound, alcohols is a compound, type of compound. So, similarly, esters are nothing but a type of compound. Okay, now how do you identify them? अगर वो लिखा हुआ है, उसका फॉर्मूला लिखा हुआ है, सबसे पहली चीज है कि हम उसको पहचाने के जैसे कि ये एल्केन है, कि एसिड है, कि अल्कोहल है, कि एल्डिहाइड है, क्या चीज है वो? हाउ डू यू रिकग्नाइज? So there are two, three methods here. For you, first of all, you know what is R. R, we understand, is an alkyl group, like CH3. पूरे alkane में से एक हाइड्रोजन हटा दो. Alkyl group. Let's write. What is an alkyl group, or R? ऐसे ऐसे बहुत देर लग जाएगी if I do these small things. These are in the previous episodes. It's basically कोई भी alkane हो, उसमें से एक हाइड्रोजन हटा दो. CH4 is an alkane, methane. You remove one hydrogen from it. Or if you have C3H8, you remove one hydrogen from it, that will be an alkyl group. R dash basically stands for a different, this can be R and this can be R dash, or something else can be R dash. So both of them are basically alkyl groups, and obviously they have a valency lying vacant here, because एक हाइड्रोजन कम कर दिया ना हमने यहाँ से और यहाँ से, तो उसको एक जरूरत रहती है एक बॉन्डिंग की. So that's what an alkyl group R is. We are bound to know this by this time when we are doing esters. Now, what is the structure of an ester? If something is written like C2H5COOCH3, okay, now can we identify alkyls in it? सबसे पहली पहचान है, look for COO. The first thing is look for COO. Do you find COO here? Yes. So there's a chance, huh? It's not certain. There's a chance that this could be an ester. Okay. The second thing is look for alkyl groups. What is this? C2H5. Alkane क्या होता है? C2H6. Now it has one hydrogen less. That means it becomes an alkyl group. What is this? CH3. This is methyl. Methane में से एक हाइड्रोजन कम दिया, कर दिया. So this is also another alkyl. That's why I'm writing dash. There's one alkyl, there's another alkyl. So the पहचान, the identification, आप इसको कैसे पहचानते हो कि ये एस्टर है, वो इस तरह से लगना चाहिए कि एक एल्काइल हो, सी एक एल्काइल हो, फिर CO लिखा हो और फिर एक और एल्काइल हो. अगर ऐसा कुछ हमें दिख रहा है तो दैट्स एन एस्टर. ओके, अब इन्होंने सीधा सीधा लिखा हुआ है तो ठीक है, हमें पहचान में आ गया कि ये एस्टर है. हाँ, इसमें एक चीज इंपॉर्टेंट होती है कि ये जो पार्ट है ना, R डैश वाला पार्ट, this cannot be pure hydrogen. Here you can have only hydrogen instead of this entire R. You can have only hydrogen, but in the second part, COO के बाद वाला जो R डैश होता है वो प्योर हाइड्रोजन नहीं हो सकता. इट हैज टू बी एटलीस्ट वन कार्बन एटम, एटलीस्ट मिथाइल हो या इथाइल हो या प्रोपाइल हो, कुछ तो होना चाहिए. ओनली हाइड्रोजन अलाउड नहीं है. वेयर एज R मे बी हाइड्रोजन या नॉट बी हाइड्रोजन. ओके, चलो ऐसे लिखा है तो हम पहचान गए. ओके, हो सकता है किसी और तरीके से लिखा हो, देखते हैं. सी नाउ इस ये एक किसी कंपाउंड का एक्सपैंडेड फॉर्म लिखा है. I hope you understand expanded formula and compact formula. ये किसी चीज का, it is incomplete, I'm sorry, ये किसी चीज का, क्या किया मैंने, ये किसी चीज का एक्सपैंडेड फॉर्मूला लिखा है. तो ऐसे तो समझ आने से रहा, तो पहले इसको हम कॉम्पैक्ट फॉर्म में लिख देते हैं. व्हाट इज दिस? This is CH3. What is this? COO. Okay, so we have COO. Then what is this? This is C2 and H5. Now what do we get? We get the same thing. We have a COO group, which is very important to see. Then we have an alkyl group here, which is methyl, and we have an alkyl group here, which is ethyl. देखो, इथेन में से C2H6 में से एक हाइड्रोजन कम किया हुआ है. So if it is written in expanded form, then also just reduce it to the compact condensed form and then identify that it's an ester. Okay, now they become even smarter. If the examiners are smarter नहीं, if they're smart, we are smarter. Okay, अब उन्होंने दे दिया है बहुत अजीब C5H10O2. Now, luckily or unluckily, from here it's difficult to construct any of these formula type of a structure. From here directly, it's difficult to construct. So we just have to remember that the ester formula in the shortest possible molecular formula is CnH2nO2. This we'll have to kind of remember, because from this to get that structure is quite difficult. To get CO here, an alkyl here, an alkyl here. So we'll remember that अगर ऐसा है तो ester होगा. Now here, what is N? N is 5. N मतलब carbon is 5. Hydrogen कितने? 10, which is equal to 2N. And oxygen कितने हैं? So it satisfies, I wrote it too close. So it is satisfying CnH2nO2 the molecular formula. So if they just write it like this, we can still say it's an ester. Okay. Okay. So how much have we covered? We have covered this, we have covered this, we have covered this double bond. They can have the molecular formula of this. They may be same or different, like we've taken the examples where they're different, they may be same also. Okay, one very small thing, that these compounds will have a very sweet smell. Perfume just, they're used in things which need some perfume. Maybe perfumes itself, maybe soaps, maybe anything which needs some fragrance. Sweet smell, fragrance, flowery smell. So these compounds are incorporated in those substances, and it gives a nice flowery smell. Okay. Now from here, it was just about identifying esters. Now we'll come to the part where we'll understand how they are produced. ठीक है, क्या चीज रॉ मटेरियल लेना पड़ेगा हमको, क्या हमें कैटलिस्ट लेना पड़ेगा, क्या कंडीशंस रखनी पड़ेंगी सो दैट वी आर एबल टू प्रोड्यूस एन एस्टर. और एस्टर बन गया है, इसकी क्या पहचान होगी? आपने कुछ कुछ रॉ मटेरियल ले लिया, उसको मिला दिया और उसका रिएक्शन करवा दिया, बट हमें नहीं पता कि एस्टर बन गया कि नहीं. कैसे पता चलेगा? जब रिएक्शन हो रहा है, हो ही जा रहा है, इट्स अ स्लो रिएक्शन, अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स अ स्लो रिएक्शन. तो जब रिएक्शन हो रहा है और जब स्वीट स्मेल आने लग जाए, फ्लावर्स की स्मेल आने लग जाए, तब हमें इंडिकेशन हो जाता है दैट ओके नाउ एस्टर्स आर बीइंग फॉर्म्ड. Okay, so the occurrence of sweet smell tells us that now the reaction has occurred and esters are formed. Okay, next thing is, I'm waiting for this to dry. Next thing is the catalyst. I've written here, catalyst. Catalyst, as a definition, I'm sure you know, is something that speeds up a reaction. कोई चीज बहुत धीरे 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 चल रही हो, उसको धक्का मारता है, फटाफट चलाता है. So if a reaction is slow, it increases the speed, फटाफट कर देता है उस reaction को. So here a typical catalyst which is used, sorry for this, is concentrated sulfuric acid. That's a typical catalyst which is used in this procedure is called esterification. Okay, now agar hum production of, just excuse me, let me get a cloth to wipe it. So this production of the entire process of production of an ester, क्या हमें लेना है, क्या हमें करना है, that entire process is called esterification. जैसे लास्ट एपिसोड में हमने देखा था, the process of making a soap was called saponification. Similarly, the process of making an ester is called esterification. This is basically making or producing an ester. I'm writing in very short. You can take the proper definition from some book or something. So सिर्फ याद रखने के लिए, esterification is making of an ester, manufacturing of an ester. Now, what are the raw materials required for this? जब कोई चीज़ हम बनाते हैं, उसके लिए हमें कोई raw materials तो चाहिए होते हैं ना. We have to start with something. तो इसमें we can say 2 or 3. Now that's ambiguous. That depends on what. I think it's safe to write 3 raw materials. Okay. So the first raw material is a carboxylic acid. What is a carboxylic acid? Something which looks like, oh, is it not an ester? It is COR. Why am I calling it carboxylic acid? It looks like an ester. Pay attention. We mentioned very specifically कि वो वाली साइड COO के उधर की साइड राइट हैंड साइड पे H नहीं अलाउड है. The moment it becomes H, it becomes an acid, carboxylic acid, organic acid. अगर इस H की जगह कोई और मिथाइल इथाइल प्रोपाइल ग्रुप होता, then it would have been an ester. Okay, so this is not an ester, this is a carboxylic acid. एग्जाम्पल कुछ भी ले सकते हैं. एग्जाम्पल C2H5COOH और C7, my god, 14 15 COOH. We can take any carboxylic acid. So that's one of the raw materials. Now the second raw material that we need is an alcohol. The organic alcohol. Yes, of course, the drinking alcohol is also this is a type of alcohol only, but I am talking about any general alcohol which has a formula of ROH. Example, methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, anything like methanol, maybe propanol. So things which contain the OH group, the organic compounds which contain OH group, they're called alcohols. So we need carboxylic acid and we need alcohols. Now third thing is like, I don't know, we may include the catalyst concentrated H2SO4 as a part of the raw material. Now, yes, it has to be present, but it doesn't get used up. अगर आपने 10 किलो तो कैसे डालोगे? If you put 500 grams of H2SO4, at the end of everything, you'll still have 500 grams of H2SO4. So it is required, but it is not used up. It still remains in the surroundings, in the mixture. Okay, but we definitely need it. So I like to put concentrated H2SO4, the catalyst, as a part of raw material. Okay, now what are the products? I can call it reactants also, actually. No, not reactants, because then H2SO4 will not come in the correct order. Now, what are the products formed? The products form are simple. One is an ester and one is simple. The poor little chap, water. So ester we know is R, COO, R dash. So we'll form, when we make these things react, we'll form an ester and we'll form water. And an important thing is heating is required. If you don't heat, it will never lead to completion. You definitely need heating to fasten the reaction here for even it to happen. Otherwise, there's no way these two guys will react with each other. Very difficult. You need the catalyst and you need heating and stirring the mixture till you get that sweet smell. So these are the raw materials, these are the products. Now let's take a proper example. Let's take an acid, let's take an alcohol and write one reaction, two reactions, just for the sake of example. Okay, let's decide on an acid. My wish. I can't ask your wish, otherwise I would have asked what you want. In a classroom, I ask, which acid do you want? Very proudly I ask. Now I'll have to decide myself. Suppose I take butanoic acid. I have, I think I have to name them wrong. This is propanoic acid and this is octanoic acid, probably. Um, I think I mentioned it wrong there. So this is butanoic acid. Why but? COH दिख रहा है, 3 कार्बन और 1 कार्बन, 4 कार्बन दिख रहे हैं. So this is butanoic acid. So I have taken an acid. Now I need some alcohol. Decide. Methanol. Okay, and I am bound to get an ester. Now, how do you decide which one is R? CO बीच का तो पता है, CO तो लिख ही देती हूँ. But how do you decide which one is R and which one is R dash? They're not random. They are because of certain reasons. The part from the acid, the alkyl part from the acid is R. And the alkyl part from the alcohol is R dash. That's a fixed rule. So हमें यहाँ RCOO R dash लिखना है ना, एस्टर बनाना है ना. क्या बनाना है हमें? एस्टर. कहाँ गया एस्टर? RCOO R dash. तो सबसे पहले the first thing that we have to write is this part of the acid. So we'll write C3H7. CO तो लिखना ही है बीच में. CO के बाद कौन सा पार्ट लिखना है? जो एल्कोहल से पहले एल्काइल ग्रुप है. R dash is this. COOCH3. So this is the ester which will be formed. Naming we'll do in the next episode. How will you name this compound? But this is how it will take. We have forgotten heat and we have forgotten without which the reaction will not occur only. This is ester formed, this is acid, this is alcohol. Oh, I wanted to take another example. There is, okay, I hope this is visible. Now, just learn an important thing. I'll write it here. That will help us in the next episode. Always write acid during the reaction. When you're writing the reaction, write acid first and alcohol later. Abhi ke liye just remember this. Why we'll understand in the B episode. Always write this here also. Here what I've done. I've written the acid first, butanoic acid, and methanol I have written here. I'll take maybe methanoic acid. I have to take an acid. So I've taken methanoic acid. Acid means organic acid. No? Don't take HCl and HNO3 or all these. Not mineral acids, organic acids, carboxylic acids. And I want to take C2H5OH, which is ethanol. It's an alcohol. So now I will not forget concentrated H2SO4 and some heating will give us an ester. Now how will I write the ester? Now we know acid का ये part ले लो. Okay, ये part ले लिया जिसमें सिर्फ H था तो कोई बात नहीं. Then बीच में क्या रखना है? CO रखना है. CO रख दो. बाद में क्या रखना है? एल्कोहल का पार्ट रखना है. एल्कोहल का पार्ट रख दो. And the बेचारा पानी. So this thing is the ester, this is acid, this is alcohol, and you're getting the sweet smelling ester. So this is what is esterification. Take an acid, take an alcohol, heat it, put a catalyst H2SO4, and you get the ester as a product and water as a byproduct. Okay, hope esterification is clear. In the next episode, we'll do how to name these and why do we need the catalyst, what is the function, and a few more small things. Okay, thank you.